Hi, my name is Ryan Hugler with Landscape Legends, and this is the first episode of Building in Public, where we're going to be building essentially this lawn care company's entire marketing online from scratch. So, a little bit of backstory here. My buddy John, who used to cut grass for me back in the day when I was still running my lawn care and landscaping business, he has now decided to go out on his own, to start his own lawn care company. So, we are going to be helping him build his online presence and kind of documenting the whole process so that you can see what we're doing to get him to a certain point, and you can kind of see what we do that works and what we do that maybe doesn't work as well as we expect. So in this first episode, we are focusing on the website. It's the bread and butter of what we do at Landscape Legends, and it's really the foundation of a company's entire online presence. Now, with this being said, I built this website myself from scratch. If you look at the other websites that my team puts together, they are much better at design and development than I am, and there's a reason that I've hired them to do that. So this is a solid foundation, a good starting point. However, once he gets the ball rolling a little more and we have a little bit more budget to work with, we'll probably be upgrading this design to be a little bit more on brand and more custom feeling. However, it's got a lot of the key factors that we look for in a high-performing website. Getting right into it, when you are building your website, there are a handful of things that you really want to make sure that you are doing. I guess starting off, number one, you need to have a logo. If you don't have a logo, start there and take the time to make sure you get a logo that you like and that you feel showcases your company and represents your company in the way that you want to be represented. So as you can see here, we've got this Happy Lawn logo, kind of playing a little bit off the Happy Dad logo, but obviously a little bit different and geared more towards lawn care. Got the color scheme down, so we've got the orange and black, kind of like a secondary or third color of green. So we've got the brand identity established essentially, or the visual brand identity established with this logo, so we know what colors to use on the website. So as you can see, we used the blacks and oranges. I don't know if we really used green anywhere, but maybe like in the future design that we could incorporate that probably a little more. But once you have your logo together and you've got your brand identity together, we're going to be looking at some strategic placement of different things on your website. So number one, we're looking at this phone number right here. As you can see on the desktop version, we just have it listed out. Got his phone number right front and center so people can see who they need to call if they want to request services or request a quote. Also, as you can see, it's also clickable. Now on desktop, not many people are really going to be calling. However, on the mobile version of this website, it is also clickable, which is the important part, so that when someone lands on your website, they can click on that phone icon or your phone number and just call right away. They don't have to try and fidget back and forth trying to type in your phone number or trying to copy and paste things over. Just make it easy and make that clickable. That's super important. Then as we move down, we've also got a clear navigation menu that takes you to different parts of the website. The logo, obviously, kind of building off that brand identity, and a request a quote button. So this will pop up a form to where they can fill out the form to request services, so like things like their name, their email, their phone number, their address, and services desired. A few things here with the menu. So with this website, we've only got one page right now, so it just links to different parts of the website. However, when you have like different pages, like a common website that we build for people is a 5-page website where each of these is a different page. So a home page, a page that lists all the services, a page that just has general information about the company, gallery showcasing the work that's been done by this company, and then the contact page. So those are kind of the 5 pages that we usually build around. But this is a single page website for now. We'll expand on it over time, but we're just getting the ball started and rolling here. So have a navigational menu, whether you have 1 page or 5 page, just to make it easy to navigate through your website. And then also have this call to action button here to request a quote, to where either it takes them to that contact page or it pops up with a request a quote form just like this, so that they can easily put in their information and request a quote. Now as we scroll down, the heroes section here, we have his Google reviews listed 5 stars on Google based on 5 reviews. Now, that is something that he's going to want to continuously improve upon and get more and more reviews, because a higher quantity of 5-star reviews is even better. Because when Google is looking at who to show on Google when people are searching for lawn care services, if your competitor has 25-star reviews and you only have, like, let's say 5, Google's probably going to prefer the company that has 20 reviews. Now, that's not the only factor, and there's a lot that goes into it, but that's a big factor. And obviously, we want to do everything we can to be that top company when someone is searching for lawn care services on Google. So increasing the amount of 5-star reviews is huge, but also just showcasing that and reinforcing it on your website. Don't just think that everybody's going to see your Google reviews because they're on Google. Not everybody will. So when we reinforce that front and center, people are going to see that this is a quality company that people enjoyed working with. Then we move down and we've got this SEO headline right here. And if we inspect it, we'll be able to see that it is tagged as the H1 right here. That H1, what that means is it is telling Google that this is like the main headline and kind of the most important piece of content on the page, to tell Google what this page is about. So when we're incorporating this keyword right here, lawn care in Rochester, Indiana, we are telling Google that if someone is located in Rochester, Indiana, and they're looking for lawn care services, this page is relevant. Now, this is a pretty simple framework to install in your business. Just take your main service area that you want to target and your main service. So this could be landscaping in Boise or lawn care in Tallahassee or whatever it is. Use that and tag it as your H1 so that Google knows what your website is about and what services are relevant. Then down the line, when we go through and create more pages, we can create more pages for different services and even different towns to target even more search terms and more services and more service areas. Then from there, we've got just a general kind of bold headline here: elevate your outdoor space, kind of paint the picture emotionally of the transformation. And then 3 reasons why they should choose Happy Lawn. Now, these personally are kind of weak in my opinion, but since it's a new company and he's kind of still trying to figure out his positioning, these are good starting points. Quality first, personalized service, locally owned. You're at least putting something out there and kind of standing behind something that people can associate your company and your brand with. And then lastly, for this hero section, we've got this request an estimate form here. Now, we've found that websites that have a form front and center just like this generate more leads than ones that don't. It's because it's super easy for people to request a quote, and it's super important. So whether you have it just right here, kind of at the bottom of kind of the above the fold section, or you have it kind of shifted over here to the right and then your text shifted over here to the left, however you do it, have a form so that people can easily request a quote as soon as they land on your page. You'd be surprised on the difference that one thing can make. Now, if you're following those key principles, you're going to be in pretty good shape. Now, as we scroll down, this section is just kind of a general company overview. So it's your trusted partner for lawn care in Rochester, Indiana. So that's actually pretty important right there. I need to add a period there. Should have grammar checked that. But this is further reinforcing to Google that this website is about lawn care in Rochester, Indiana. Lawn care in Rochester, Indiana. And, not to mention, lawn care company Rochester. It's continuing to use this language of that Rochester Lawn Care or Lawn Care Rochester to continue to reinforce the fact to Google that this website is a lawn care company in Rochester. And now, most likely, with the size of Rochester, it's not going to be enough to just do that, but without having this wording and this content done properly, no matter what you do in terms of SEO beyond this, it's going to be pretty much useless if Google can't scan your website and understand what services you offer and where you offer them. So we have it in this subheadline here, and we've got it in the first line of this paragraph. Just some general information about the company, kind of the local community, what services provided, and then the request a quote button. So this picture is going to eventually be a picture of him in like his branded gear. probably on a mower or doing something, just so that people can associate a face with the company. Because when you think about the lawn care and landscaping industry, like people know the company by the owner, and it's a very very good industry to kind of build a personal brand around. So when people want to call someone for lawn care in Rochester, they know to call John. John is with Happy Lawn, but they can make that association that John is the guy that can do the work for them, and he's going to do a good job. So we really like to incorporate that personal brand aspect and put, like for in this example, John's face here on the website or on your website. Put a picture of you and introduce yourself as the owner, or even just have pictures of you or your crew working. You don't even necessarily have to introduce yourself as the owner if you don't want to. But I would highly recommend having pictures of you or your team working so they can put faces to your company. And then also just kind of reinforce this request a quote button here so that people can request a quote wherever they're at on the website. And as we scroll down, we've got the services listed. So these are all stock pictures for now. They need to be updated. But once again, this is a brand new company. He doesn't really have that photography, and that's going to be something that I'm going to be helping him with over the next few months. So we're just kind of using what we found online for the time being. But these definitely need to be more personalized pictures as well. But we're at least showcasing what services can be provided so that someone visiting the website can get a better idea of what they can expect. And then showcasing your reviews. Once again, he's got 5 reviews. Only 3 of them have any content. So once he gets more reviews with more content, they'll start to populate in here as well. But it's just reinforcing the fact that he has that excellent rating on Google and has that 5-star rating. And as we scroll down, this section is kind of more just like why to choose Happy Lawn. Now, once again, it's a new company. He's still trying to figure out his positioning, so it's a little bit more broad than I'd like to be. I'd like to get it to the point to where we get these 3 bullet points up here honed in more and kind of figure out what his 3 main selling points are and incorporate that more down here. But this is a good starting point to at least have something out there and try to set him apart a little bit. So once again, we got that request a quote button so they can easily request a quote. And then we've got the areas we service: Rochester, Logansport, Kewanna, and Culver. Just kind of this triangle here with the map. Once again, reinforcing that 5-star rating. And that is it. And then the footer, we've got the services offered, request a quote. Once again, nothing fancy on the design side of things. My team does a lot better job at it than I do. But if you build your website with a lot of these key things in mind, you're going to be setting yourself up for success. Now, it's not end all be all. It's not do this and you're guaranteed results, but this is the foundation of what you need to be, what you need to have with your website. Now, a couple other things I want to point on are, 1, your page speed. So we put it in here. We've got an 87, could be improved a little bit. 63 also could be improved a little bit for mobile. However, since we're just starting out and it's not a huge market, I don't think this is going to be a hindrance yet. So it's not going to be something I'm going to put a whole lot of time into optimizing. Now, we may optimize some of these pictures a little bit. So you can see that's not ideal. So we may do a little bit of mobile optimization. But the 87, I mean, that's pretty solid right there. Knowing the market and knowing the situation, that's not something that needs to be addressed super hardcore. If you're in a super competitive market, every millisecond of page speed can be very important. So that may be something to look into more. And then lastly, I also want to introduce you, probably, you may have never heard of this, but it's Google Search Console. So what this is a software that's created by Google that helps you analyze your search engine data. So we connected Happy Lawn Lawn Maintenance to Search Console. And what you do once you set that up is you're going to come in and you're actually going to copy the URL and paste it in up here. And this URL is actually on Google, so we'll just act like it's not and request indexing. It'll do its thing. That way we can kind of re-update it because I've made some changes here recently and that may not be indexed into Google. So essentially what this is doing right here is putting it into Google's system so that when someone is searching for lawn care in Rochester, this page is even on Google's radar in the first place. Without indexing your website through Google Search Console, Google doesn't know that it exists. And now it can discover it one way or another if it's listed on like Facebook or your Google business profile. Like Google can figure it out eventually, but we don't want it to figure it out eventually. We want it to figure it out now so we can maximize results. So get your website connected to Google Search Console. Copy and paste your URL into here. And if you've got a bigger website with a lot of URLs, you can also copy and paste your sitemap. Depends on what website builder you use to kind of figure out how to upload that. If you use WordPress, you should be able to find that very easily. If you use something like Wix or Squarespace or something else, I'm not familiar exactly with what those sitemap URLs are, but you essentially just copy in or paste it in here, submit, and it'll scan all of the URLs on your website, which is pretty great. So then you don't have to copy and paste them all into here. So as you can see, it is processing data. Check again in a day or so, and then ideally within a day or so, Google will have the page indexed, and we will actually have a chance of showing up when people are searching for lawn care services. So this is kind of the starting point. Like I said, this is just episode 1. We're building this website and kind of laying the foundation. Is this website perfect? No, but it's got all of the key factors that we need to start getting clients and start getting found in the Rochester area. The next step is probably going to be start building maybe like a Logansport, Kewanna, Culver page to start targeting these pages, or to start targeting these towns. And then from there, also build out pages for all the individual services and kind of build it out into a 20, 30 page website with a lot of content, because this will further reinforce to Google that this website has some authority in the lawn care landscaping space. They have a lot of content talking about it, but also locally relevant because they have pages for the local towns. So like I said, this is a starting point. This is episode 1. Hope to create more episodes kind of as we make improvements and take you along on this journey and kind of document the process. We're doing this on a shoestring budget. There pretty much is no budget. I'm just volunteering all my time to help them out and showing you guys the free ways that we can improve your online marketing as much as possible. So if you found this video valuable, make sure you hit a thumbs up. And then also make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on that, or hit that bell icon to turn on your notifications so that you know when the next episode is released. So you can see the next step of the process and see the progress that we are making, whether this is working and we're actually getting clients just from what we've done so far, or if we need to do more work to further optimize this website.